Ever since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, KTVU viewers have been so generous in raising money for Bay Area nonprofits through the Fox 2 Giving Day Drive. This month is a little different. Through August, we are highlighting charitable organizations that are committed to making the Bay Area a better place to learn, as many children will start going back to school soon. This morning, we're focusing on SupplyBank.org, which gets school supplies to students who are homeless or from low-income families, those who need it most. We're happy to talk about this more by welcoming the board co-chair, Tim Sbranti. Thanks for joining us, Tim.
Great. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So your supply bank for school supplies runs a lot like a food bank does. I love it when I give money to, let's say, the Alameda County Food Bank. They stretch that dollar in ways that I never could. How does it work with school supplies?
That's right. So when you give, for every $1 you give to Supply Bank, it's really worth $3. The Supply Bank model is a really unique model because it takes what you do, like with Food Bank, where they generate food. We do that with supplies. It started with school supplies, and then it's broadened into diapers and hygiene kits and PPE and other necessary products to meet the unmet material needs, particularly for those that are the most in need.
I know we've talked a lot about backpack giveaways in the past, and these days, because of the pandemic, many students are facing the great likelihood that they're going to start their school year at home. How does that change what supplies they'll need?
Yeah, well, I mean, it does change some of the supplies that they're going to need, but I think the needs are even greater, because when they're in a traditional classroom, more of the supplies are there, but when they're at home, they don't have any of those supplies. And, what we've seen is 1 out of every 4 Bay Area school children needs school supplies, is in need. So, it's going to be some of the same art supplies, extra paper, extra materials. We even have some laptops, particularly for some community college students. So we have tried to, tailor the needs for those. But what we've seen is during the pandemic, when families are having a hard time even putting food on the table, let alone school supplies, the need is greater. They're at home. They're a little more isolated. So we're working with all of our partners to make sure that they get in the hands of families so they can, have the resources they need for their education at home.
No, it has been incredible to see what food banks and other organizations have done to almost immediately step up to fill the almost immediate need that came from the result of the coronavirus pandemic. Let's talk about connecting with students who maybe don't have a fixed address or who maybe don't show up to school every day where you can hand their teacher a backpack and say, give this to Susie when she comes in on Monday.
Yeah, I mean, that's where we really work with a lot of different partners. I mean, not just the school districts, but, the county health departments, First Five. There's a lot of different touch points that we have as an organization. We have 450 partners throughout the state to try to reach those students, particularly those that are homeless, that are not always as easy to connect with. So I think that's the breadth of our organization in all 58 counties to try to really, get to them what they need. And I just think it's the partnerships and the fact that we've been able to work with so many entities to get these out. It's not just school districts, but school districts are some of our key partners, but it's other entities as well, including food banks themselves. In some instances, we work directly with the food banks because they know the kids that are the most in need. So, whatever it takes, whatever organization we need to get to in order to get the kids the supplies they need.
Well, I like it, and I second everything you've said. Tim Sbranti, thank you so much for joining us.
Great. Thank you for having me. Thank you for your support.
Absolutely. Remember, you can stretch that dollar by donating today. Thank you again to hearing from Tim Sbranti from SupplyBank.org. We've made it very easy for you to give however much you are able to. You can support SupplyBank.org through our Giving Day Drive right now. Head over to KTVU.com/Giving Day. Remember, whatever you're able to give, they can multiply and help so many children.